Hello, and welcome to the Metal Roundup. I'm Whupp, and I'll be teaching you about the metal news. Welcome to another Metal Roundup. I'm your host, Whupp. I got a couple articles for you today. First order of business, we got Kirk Hammett looking back at 20 years ago when Metallica filed a lawsuit against Napster. Kirk Hammett said it was amazing looking back then. People were saying 20 years from now, we're going to look back and say, God damn it, we did the right thing. However, reflecting on it, he felt like they never made a difference. Looking back, he was trying to see if they could make a difference. And they wanted to make sure that artists were getting paid for what they did and to distribute their music and to be compensated for it. However, there was no way that they could stop it. Once you take out one fish, another big fish will come along. And we had LimeWire and then Pirate Bay, which I believe is still running around. And it's a perfectly human thing that just happens. And it happened all of a sudden. It was more convenient to get music than it was to be paying for it. However, later in the years, Metallica did eventually come to embrace digital music, and in 2012, they began to release all their studio albums and live and remix and collaborations on Spotify, where you could find Metallica music now these days. Aerosmith and Run DMC will be performing at the Grammys this weekend. Both artists have had a long history together, where DMC had done a legendary crossover mashup of the Aerosmith song "Walk This Way." It was a very, very popular song. In fact, more popular than the original "Walk This Way," as it topped off at 4 on the top 100 billboards. However, a week prior, leading up to the Grammys, Aerosmith's drummer Joey Kramer, who is a founding member who's been in the band for 50 years, not allowed to be performing with the band during the Grammys. Emmys, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. At the Grammys. He suffered a minor injury back in spring 2019 where he was unable to play for the band, and his tech drummer had to fill in for him. They asked Kramer, however, leading into the fall of 2019 when Kramer said he was ready to perform again, the band asked him to audition to make sure he was adequate at his role as the drummer. It was a new policy that the band had come up with to make sure that Kramer was fully prepared to handle a live setting. The stress of having to audition to get back into the band caused Kramer to have become hospitalized once again due to the stress, and he ended up prolonging the process of getting back in with the band. Through the months, eventually at early January, he was able to perform this rehearsal against a click track for his audition, which the band ended up listening to and decided that he did not have the proper energy to perform the show. Aerosmith offered a statement saying that it would be a disservice to Joey and to ourselves and our fans to have him play without adequate time to prepare and rehearse. Compounding this, he chose to file a lawsuit. And on Friday night, the holiday weekend proceedings with the Grammy totally disregarded for what our limited window to prepare for the performance of these important events. Joey's beyond devastated that he feels like it is his rightful place to be on the stage after being with the band for 50 years. However, statements say that he had multiple chances for the last 6 months to audition and be rehearsing with the band again, but he was unable to do the said rehearsal up until earlier this year. Kramer did agree to go in with the band for the red carpet photo ops. However, he would not be performing, and he was given the rehearsal schedule on January 18th, and he waited until and you were saying that the band waited until the 15th to not let him perform the show. So he ended up showing at the rehearsal in LA the next day, and he was turned away by two bodyguards, saying that the four members of the band did not want him at the rehearsal space. You can catch the footage on TMZ and the interview on People's Magazine, where they go into details of what happened between Aerosmith and the band and the drummer Joey. Slayer took to social media earlier this week to warn the fans of a fake concert or fake misinformed information on an upcoming Slayer show. Slayer had played their last concert in November 30th, 2019 at the Los Angeles Forum, and it recently came to their attention that there was a Slayer show being sold at the Viagogo. They wrote in social media, warning to Slayer fans. There are tickets being offered on the Viagogo to a Slayer performance at Swedish Rocks, June 2020. Buyers beware that this is a resale site with inaccurate information. Slayer will not be performing. What's up? Annihilator, Ballistic Sadistic, a new album that came out on the 22nd. Serenity has a new single, My Kingdom Come, that came out on the 16th. Rage, Wings of Rage, a new album that came out on the 10th. Victorious Space Ninjas from Hell has a new album that came out on the 17th. Beneath the Massacre, Fearmonger, new album that came out on the 10th. Medico Peste, a new God Knows Why, has a new music video that came out on the 14th. Temperance, I Am Fire, has a music video that came out on the 21st, and they have their new album, Temperance Viridian, that is coming out today on the 24th. Emberian Dawn, Looking for You, has a music video that came out on the 16th, as well as the self-titled track Looking for You. As well as a new album, Looking for You, is coming out on the 31st of January. And a new music video by Monuments, Animus, that came out today on the 24th. So thank you guys again for tuning in. It means a lot to me. If you guys want to keep up to date with metal news, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when the next active video is out there. You can catch me streaming on Twitch, where I am usually playing video games like all the time, because that's what I like to do. And I also like to listen to metal music. So if you guys want to share some of your music as well, feel free to join me in chat, and we can talk about any of the new articles or any news coming up as well. You can also catch the S1ckboy Lounge over at Mixer and Twitch as well. He goes live with his podcast every Saturday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And thank you guys again for your time. I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. Stay heavy.